Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back to the 6-day workshop on AI and ICT tools for the next generation educators and researchers. It's day 2, session 4. Today we have with us Professor R.K. Thakur, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the session, sir.
Very good afternoon.
Sir is Director for Research, Academic and International Affairs, Jaipur National University, Jaipur. He is an internationally acclaimed physicist with over 27 years of experience in experimental physics, ICT in education and academic leadership. He is a recipient of prestigious fellowship from Germany, Italy, and Hong Kong. He has contributed to global research collaborations, developed academic curricula. He has led international conferences fostering innovation and global partnerships in science and education. Sir, on behalf of Unity PG College, Lucknow, I, Dr. Basirat Fatima, moderator for the today's session, would like to welcome you for taking the session on AI in research, literature review, and academic writing. Over to you, sir. Please unmute yourself.
I think it is unmuted, is not it? Can you hear me?
So I hope
Am I
I'm audible
audible?
to you.
Yes, you are, but am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, great. Because my mic is unmuted, so I suppose but yeah. Can you see my PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think who is the resource person there? Hello? Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, sir, you're audible,
yes,
sir.
so, yeah. I'm sharing my PPT. Could you allow it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. And my PPT is also visible, right?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay. So do you mind if I switch off the camera and just start the PPT?
No, sir, not a problem, sir.
Okay. So now can you see my PPT? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible and slide is also visible. First
Okay.
slide.
So may I allow to go on?
Sure, sir, sure, please.
Okay, great, great. Well, so very good afternoon to Dhawan Sahab and Madam, to you, all the faculty members at Unity PG College, Lucknow. and of course, all the brilliant, enthusiastic participants of this workshop. And now I think without losing time, we should go on. So this is today we are going to speak about the artificial intelligence and ICTs in say research and education at large. So, well, so as you can see, I'm actually driven by the spiritual power and innovative mindset, upholding the core values and contributing to the broader national vision of NEP 20, while advancing the United Nations SDG goal of 2030. That is really very much important. And my purpose of life is to help people through my quality education, innovative research, entrepreneurship, international experience, and so on. So at the just like Plato, he once said that at the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. So at the touch of education, everyone begin to transform insightful and visionary people. And here, this is the community of highly intellectual people. Further, my vision as an academic leader is to lead university or institutions with a strong spiritual and innovative mindset. I'm actually a spiritually and emotionally driven person who always think to contribute for the growth, progress, and success of organization. So, as Madam has already introduced me, I'm a realistic person. So, I'm an experimenter, and therefore I expect miracle. Miracle in the sense, if we work with the total sincerity for the nation building, there must be some progress comes in. Further, I think Madam has already introduced about my education. I was also graduated from Lucknow University during 1991 to 1996, and thereafter master from Italy, PhD from Germany, and then I had 3 postdoctoral assignments at Germany, and then Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and thereafter at Italy under European Research Council's Advanced Grant Project in association with the LIGO and Virgo collaboration. So here I will give you a bit, say 5 to 7 minutes of feeling what I have done, because it is all together strongly related with the research. So it will somehow help you to understand in a deeper level. So you see, being an academician, it is not sufficient. We have to lead the institution. We have to motivate the people for the noble cause. And for that, I always believe that the leadership is really very important. And so I have received leadership certificates from University of Oxford and then University of Harvard that actually helped me to excel in academic leadership role. Equally, it is very important for every learned person to have a deep contact with the mentors with whom you have worked or you are working, so that you can upgrade yourself time to time. You see here all the mentors with whom I have worked in the last 35 years through education or a PhD guidance, postdoctoral guidance, or some of the academic leaders I have hired. They are actually the professional, and it is really very important to have an insightful discussion prior taking a decision and so on. Well, so I'm actually highly influenced by the influential quotes of legendary people, because in the history, human history, so many legendary people, they have somehow established through their approach, their thinking innovative thinking, a spiritual mindset that served as a building block for the academician to come at this level in 21st century. So you see, the William Shakespeare, I like this quote very much, that he said that all the world is a stage and all we are playing our role in a one lifetime. The second is, it is equally important. You see, it was by the Martin Luther King Jr. He said, if a man has not discovered something that he will die for, he is not fit to live. And that's kind of the passion we must have being an academician for a teaching and learning process, you know. Well, so, you know, it is my international European learning that we should always teach or discuss something beyond the syllabus, at least 10 to 20%, because round the clock scientists, people are working across the world and they are giving on new things. So being an academician, teacher, scientist, we have to grasp those relevant knowledge and discuss with the students. Here, this I took it from Gita, and it says, Yadi ज्ञाना न कर्मादि तदा शून्यम. इसका मतलब है कि अगर ज्ञान कर्म में ना उतरे तो शून्य है. If knowledge is not put into the action, then it is void. You know, a lot of people are doing PhD, higher education, but that is not implemented in practice. And that's why I found it really very much inspiring for myself, and also equally I love to share with the people. This is the one more quote you must have heard or gone through. It was the Nelson Mandela who said education is the most powerful weapon which can change the world. And that's true. You see, in a 20th or 21st century, the Europeans, Americans, the Japanese, they work very hard to reach at this level through the quality education, innovative research. And luckily, our aim here today is to discuss how the artificial intelligence will improve our understanding, our research activities, how it helps. So, well, every person must have purpose or a mission in his life. Most of the people are just moving here and there, jumping high or low, and throughout their life, they can't understand what was their purpose of life. So purpose of life is really very much important to understand what you wanted to do, you know. So actually in a life, we believe that things won't always go as we planned, but sometimes the unplanned holds the greatest blessings that you must have seen throughout the history. You know, whether it is a life of Albert Einstein or a Nelson Mandela or a Mahatma Gandhi, so many legendary people are there, you know. So sometimes people try also to destroy our precious things because they recognize your power, not because they don't see it, because they see it and they don't want it to exist. And therefore, it is equally important for us to navigate through the challenges of life with the very calm mind and clarity. It is a calm mind and clarity is a very important in any endeavor of life, especially in a teaching and learning process, in a research. You must need a very calm mind, you know. Well, so here it is my mission. My mission in life is not merely to survive. As I said in the beginning, I am a very strongly connected to the spirituality and invested emotionally. And therefore, I always care for the contribution through my scholastic approach. So to do so, I have some kind of passion. Everyone has some passion because the passion fuels your purpose, your mission. And also equally, we hold some compassion for the suffering of people. if we do not hold compassion, again, the purpose of life is somehow the meaningless. Education, innovation, research, everything go useless. Because after all, what we want to do with our research, our education, to help the people, to help the society, nurture the people, improve their life. So with the passion, with some passion, some compassion, some honor, some humor, and some style. And my style is the spiritual transformational servant leadership style. And I very strongly believe in Gita, and you see, I took it from Gita. Lord Krishna is the chariot driver of Arjuna. So he was a servant actually. So being a academician, a researcher, we must have a mindset like a Lord Krishna. He holds absolute insight, wisdom, but at the same time, at the time of need, he served as a chariot driver, you know. So hero, H-E-R-O, and that's why in our society we call it hero, you know. But hero is actually the Greek word. That means the person who don't mind serving at a bottom level, who do not have any ego, but he is a full of passion and compassion. That's what the meaning of hero comes from the Greek language and literature. See, what we need for a spiritual servant leadership. There are so many people you must have gone through who are very hardworking, very good communicator, but they fail in their life. They mess up with their life. So what we need a willpower. Will is a very important. It's a characteristic of human. Willpower and a skill. A skill means your scientific skill, your human skill, your life skill, your business skill, public skill, and so on. And then the temperament. Temperament is the mindset. So these three things we need. What we need? Willpower. And among all three, the will is the most important aspect. If you have a willpower, you can learn the skill, you can improve your temperament. But if you don't have a willpower, you are highly skilled, you have a temperament, but you can't do that. Because the will provide you the burning desire, will give you the intense focus, will help you to survive even during the extreme challenges. You navigate through the adverse situation. Will provides you the resilience. And that's why we believe that the will is the most important aspect of human life. The next for a leadership is most important is a networking influence through your magnetic, powerful personality and presence. If you are able to influence people through your scholastic approach, through your clear communication, you can build a network. Network means societal network, national network, or a global network. And if you are able to influence the people, you are the winner. And that's why I put it here. It is a really very important keyword. Besides, we must need a vision and a spiritual power. Vision means what other people can't see. Everyone has eyes, they can see, but they don't have vision. And due to the absence of vision, they can't see far beyond, Besides that, what else we need? We need emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means you know your own pros and cons. You know others' perspectives, because after all, we all are a human. Then extraordinary desire, intense focus, resilience, team building, decision making, all that is fruitful. It is an essential ingredient for a research. You see, here the Carnegie Institute of Technology at the United States, they do research survey every year, and they found that 85% of your success comes from the influence and personality, through which you earn the respect. Only 15% comes from your skills. So the influence and personality is so much important. And here, this figure, you can see it is Warren Buffett. And he said that the leadership communication is really very important. And what then leadership communication is? It's a influence and networking. That's what the leadership communication. You see, then the Forbes, they publish every year the report, how the industries or institutions are doing across. In the red highlighted area, it is written, if you can read, only 18% of leaders or managers demonstrate high level of talent and managerials managing others. Otherwise, 82% of the people who are sitting on the top as a leader, they don't know what the leadership is. They don't have actually the spiritual power, a spiritual energy. They don't have a willpower. And so they are not, maybe they are a very good person, very hardworking, very high degree, but they fail. And due to their failure, only United States every year lose 550 billions of dollars every year. You see how important the leadership is. Why I am speaking about the leadership in this conference, this workshop? Because the research, innovation, and academics has a strong correlation with the leadership. That's what it built. I will show you in next transparency slides. Well, so here it is just a general understanding. So what the leadership communication, I have already spoken a lot about it. So it helps connect with the great mind people, Nobel laureates, technological leader, life coaches, professional mentors. Once you have such kind of the communication, you are able to interact with the eminent scientists, Nobel laureates, delegates, or people around you on a frequent basis. You see, in Europe and America, people got rich, multi-billionaire, just because of exchanging their mental energy, just exchanging their ideas. And that's how we can exchange idea, through the influence and networking. So, well, Madam has already told you, I have a 27 years of experience in a research. It is 26, teaching 26, and administrative experience I do have for about 18 years. And since 2008, while I was a postdoc leading a group of researchers, and 9 years before I came to India, and there I was director for the School of Applied Sciences and established the School of Applied Science and Engineering at MIT, GD Goenka University. And thereafter, I worked at Jaipur National University as a director for research and academic affairs. And also, I hold key administrative responsibilities at international institutions, like served as a crucial inquiry for grievances, redressal committee for international student, or a standing committee on international collaboration with RTN networking, and so on. So here, this two are the national award I received recent days, and earlier I have received this award, DFG, or DFG stands for the German National Science Foundation, for doing PhD, that fellowship for the postdoctoral assignment, then further postdoctoral assignment for to work at Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and then the INFN fellowship under the European Research Council's Advanced Grant Project, and so on. So this is my area of expertise, where I have contributed in last, you can say, 25 years. I'm basically a nanocondensed matter physicist, worked on low temperature cryogenics, quantum computing, which is actually one of the best example of artificial intelligence. So while working at quantum computing, one of our collaborator, Albert Fart and Peter Grunberg, they received Nobel Prize for Physics. And I worked on a graphene nanostructure. It's actually the organic semiconductor. You see the silicon-based semiconducting materials that approached to its limit 25 years before. And that's why the scientists, they have discovered a new organic material. There we can reduce the size of the chip. Then I worked on a gravitational wave detector in Italy under European Research Council's advanced grant. And these are Rainer Weiss, Barry C. Barry, and Kip S. Thorne. They are actually the pioneer and collaborator. They have received Nobel Prize for Physics in 2017. By the way, if you know Kip S. Thorne, he was also the director of a Hollywood movie, Interstellar. Well, being a scientist, you know, it is not only publishing paper and increasing the citation. One must have experience building the laboratory. If you don't build the laboratory, you will not have hands-on experience of a research, how it works. So that is the purpose here to showing you. Many researchers, they think that some other people have already established laboratory, I can go work with them, publish some paper, and that's it. That's not the case, you see. So I rigorously contributed in establishing the advanced laboratories under class 10 clean room facilities in Germany, Italy, and so on. And that's how I received in-depth understanding of advanced laboratory setting in those highly developed countries. Such kind of the laboratory does not exist actually in our country, with the class 10 clean room. It's a very expensive. It takes about 5,000-7,000 crore rupees to establish, because it is not only laboratory, but also all the advanced machines must be there. I've worked on 8 research projects in Europe and US. Then these are my academic say achievements: supervised PhD scholars, master students. Then I have given more than 85-90 presentation in international conference, mostly in UK, Germany, Switzerland, US, Japan, and more than 20 in Indian premier institutes like IIT, IISc, and so on. I visited almost everywhere except Africa, Middle East, Australia, and New Zealand. So visiting the different places will give you a lot of insight, boost your creativity, critical thinking, out-of-box thinking, and so many things. That is the purpose showing you. So I was also instrumental in making the say scientific collaboration with the RTN Research and Training Network. The major focus was teaching and learning, and so on. So a reviewer of IEEE transaction on instrumentation and measurement. It is a Japan and Korea chapter and Journal of Chemistry. It is actually published by the AIMS, New Delhi. So I'm also a member of several academic councils. Well, I have volunteered with the United Nations and several other international organizations. You know, volunteering with the any international organization or a institution will give you a lot of insights, like a leading by example, building a global network, enhancing institutional prestige, expanding global competence, inspiring student engagement, shaping policies and research, you know. So you get a lot of insight. And it also gives impression to the others that you have a deep concern for the social activities. It's a social activities. Usually for the volunteering, you won't get any monetary benefit. You have to travel. Maybe they will provide you a traveling grant or a staying or something like that. So here, these are my major contribution. So Madam has already spoken about these things. So quickly, I will go forward. Here you see, with all my international exposures, understanding, after coming back to India in last 8-9 years, I have connected with the top international laboratories like a CSIR, DRDO, AIMS, or a BARC, or IISc and provided the research facility avenue for our master student, because in the university system, we do not have such kind of the advanced laboratory system to conduct the research. So this is the mentorship is very close to my heart. You know, being an academician, researcher, we should be a great mentor. If we are mentor, it is again, in my opinion, it is useless. So we have to be a very good mentor. So we should mentor means a good mentor must be a very good observer, very good instructor, and very good encourager, and therefore he empowers the people very well. You know what we need being a good mentor, we must be understanding the neurology, high performance psychology, human dynamics, or a child psychology. These things are really very important for successful coach, aspirational, spiritual leader, or a mentors. You know, without understanding the human psychology, child psychology, or a human dynamics, no one can be a good mentor. You know, mentoring means you have to put all your best effort. You have to understand even without someone tells you which kind of the help he needs, but you understand what he needs and you stretch your hand to help the people. You know, madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you're
Yeah, am
audible,
I
sir. Audible.
right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Great. Well, so being a researcher, you see, we have to also engage in several extracurricular activities. And these extracurricular activities must strengthen our research endeavor, you know. So that's why I prepared this slide. So we have to build continually uh, strategic networking with the likewise minded people, influence them worldwide, mentor people, proactively initiate or organize conference, workshop, FDP, EDP, SDP, weekly seminar on cutting edge research, or say contemporary requirement of the society like environmental and health sciences, or organize public lecture, quiz, or a debate program for a student, for a researcher, and so on. We must enjoy the sports as well. Like you see, I play chess because chess is one of the best, say, thing that can provide strategic thinking. It is not just a game. It's a imagine just a whole complete life. You know how nice your strategy is, how you move forward, how you lose something in order to gain something great, and so on. Also, the gym and jogging, swimming. This is actually the complete exercise. It improves your focus. Focus is very important. We must have 100% focus. Otherwise, it is difficult, you know, we can't do the research. We can't excel in academic activities. So these things are really very important. And besides, I have a passion for reading books. I have read more than 1,400 books on science fiction, leadership, or corporate excellence, philosophy, abundance, human condition, finance, autobiography, or a success story of iconic storytellers, iconic societal intellectuals, reformers, entrepreneurs, freedom fighters. Because all that, if you read the book, if you have a practice of reading a book, it will give you really a lot of insight. It will help improve your creative thinking, build your creativity. You see the creativity, creative thinking, out of box thinking, independent thinking. Everywhere there is a thinking and creativity is connected, but it is a not same thing. It has a different meaning, but it is very strongly interconnected with each other. And reading a book is one of the best method to improve your creativity, improve your creative thinking, out of box thinking, and so on. It helps you to navigate through the difficulties, through the adverse challenges. It builds you the resilience in your personality. It gives you the courage. It gives you a lot of new insights. You might be wondering for the solution. But if you read likewise book, there are so many millions of books. I won't suggest you to read, go and read all the books. You read only those books that help improve your personality and your profession. That's it, full stop. I was at a Kennedy Center some year before at New York, United States. And there I visited Kennedy Center, and a lot of, say, good things about John F. Kennedy. You might be knowing the John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy was the president of United States from 1960 to 63. Unfortunately, he was assassinated in 1963. But there I found that John F. Kennedy was a very good reader. I mean, it is mentioned there that usually he had an ability to read 1,200 words every minute. Can you imagine? That's what the great leaders, iconic people, great mind people have. Kind of brilliance, kind of great qualities. So you see, I very strongly recommend for all the researchers, you must read books. Books, as I said, to develop your personality, and self-help book, and books that can help improve your profession, scientific profession. You know, science, there are a lot of books. They have written how to improve your research, how to accelerate your creative thinking, and how to make a decision, how to build a team, and so many things. You know, usually I read 35 to 50 books every year. So besides that, I also visit some places like a temple, Gurudwara, or park, theater, listen classical music, or traveling. I've already showed you the transparency, because all that helped me to build a focus. All that helped me to improve my creative thinking, to accelerate in a research. Well, so here it is up to this point. I gave you about my personality, my behavior, how my life was, or how my life is, how I accelerate, what is my activities, because the background music is very important, you know. So now we come to this workshop point. So this is, I again thank Unity PG College and organizers for giving me this opportunity to address all the researchers. It's my great pleasure and joy as well. So we are going to, this workshop is called AI and ICT tools for the next generation educator and researchers. You know, so if I say about AI, I did my PhD in quantum computing. That is the best example of AI. And also I did one PhD in ICT. So I hold 2 PhDs. So today we are on the second day and fourth session. And here I will focus on artificial intelligence in research, literature review, and academic writing. So this is my part. I will cover with some other, say, steps. For example, some agendas are here. I will speak about what is research and how to do literature review, introduce the AI tools for research discovery, list of AI tools for research discovery, automated summarization tool, and so on. And at the end, AI-assisted research funding and some exercise. So, by the way, madam, am I audible?
So you're audible, sir.
Right. So any problem? Or everything
Sir,
is fine?
slide is, yes, sir, everything is going fine, sir. Slide is visible.
Okay, great, great. So in between, I will ask you, so, because we are just online, and so it is quite difficult to understand whether everything is going well or not. You have my mobile
Sure,
number as well, by the way. You can also call me if there is any problem. Well,
sure,
so
sure, sir.
thank you. So I'm sorry, dear candidates, it is equally important to check the possibilities. Well, so dear colleagues, we are in the digital era, artificial intelligence and information and communication technology, that it has revolutionized research and education. Artificial intelligence was actually started during the Second World War. The Alan Turing, he gave the first impression about the AI, and so the ICT. But it took more than 75 years to come at this stage where we are absolutely ready, mentally ready to use the artificial intelligence and ICT to enhance academics and research for the betterment of society. So, objective of the workshop is to investigate the role of AI and ICT tools in transforming teaching, learning, research, and for a greater efficiency and effectiveness. Well, the first topic I will speak about what is research and how to do literature review. You must have uh, listened previous 10, 12 slides, how I built myself to come in the arena of research. What are the requirements? Without those background, it is actually difficult to understand what the research is. Research word is a very small, but it's a very vast word. As I said, in the 19th and 20th century, Europeans, Americans, and late 20th century Japanese as well, they put a huge effort, and that's how they are developed, and they have everything. And we are trying to catch them maybe at an earlier stage. Well, so when we talk about, as I said, the research, there are so many different kinds of the research. The first is we say pure scientific research. It is also known as a basic and fundamental research. R&D, industrial research and development, usually preferred by the industrial people. For example, here you can see ASML, Netherlands, Intel, Samsung, Tata Electronics or Tata Automobile, Datacom at Austria, Infineon, Germany, several automobile industries, semiconductor and superconducting industries or metal industries, they conduct the research to improve their product. So that's called industrial research, R&D. Then comes the mandate-based research. Mandate-based research is mostly done by the government, like NASA. NASA stands for National Aeronautic and Space Administration, and they are focused toward the space research. So their counterpart in our country is ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. So they are focused toward the space research one. They're not doing fundamental research or industrial research. And so HZB stands for Helmholtz Zentrum Berlin. And DESY. So I was actually associated with them for accelerator research. So then CSIR or a DRDO, they also do the mandate-based research. Like a NASA or ISRO, they do the research for space research. HZB, DESY, they do the research for accelerator technology. CSIR at our country, we have so many, I think about 70 branches. For example, close to my house is a CSIR NPL laboratory, New Delhi. They are focused toward the measurement science. So they do the measurement science research mostly, very little about pure research. And so the DRDO, they are doing research for government organization, space research, and so on. The last one is solution-based research. Solution-based research means the societal need, as per the societal need. For example, you are in a Lucknow. So in a nearby area, Lucknow, well, it is a highly developed, everything is there, for example. But in a nearby area, in a village, they lack a lot of things, as if you compare with the 21st century. For example, they don't have energy, or they have a polluted water or air. So what you can do, we can come connect with the villagers and try to understand their problem. And we connect our graduates, undergraduates or a researcher, and prepare a small project and solve their energy problem. Maybe we can fix say solar panels over there, something like that. So it is called solution-based research. A small requirement is um, urgent at a nearby place, and therefore we extend, being an academician, researcher, we extend our helping hand to help society to improve their lifestyle through our innovative research approach and so on. Well, so I will give a little more introduction about all these four different kind of the research. Coming to the pure scientific research, what is pure research? Pure research, as I said, it is also known as a fundamental or a basic research. It's a type of research conducted to increase our understanding of natural phenomena without any specific practical goal in mind. There might not be any industrial application, and that's why it is called fundamental or a pure research. Unfortunately, in our country, very less opportunities are there for fundamental forefront research. Mostly it is done by the Europeans, and then accompanied by Americans, and then the Japanese, and later on by the Koreans, and something like that. For example, like you see, the Albert Einstein, he has given the theory of relativity, or he gave an explanation of photoelectric effect, but then nobody knew what is the application of photoelectric effect. It was just a curious mind. They try to understand why it happens. So that's why we call fundamental research. In a fundamental research also, there are two parts: theoretical research, where people develop theory as per their understanding insight. Like Albert Einstein, he developed the theory. He is very well known, the most influential theoretical physicist. Max Planck, or Sir J.J. Thomson, or Richard Feynman. We also have a very good theoretical researcher, not sir, but his Professor Jagdish Chandra Bose. Bose-Einstein condensation, if you remember. It is one of the most genius idea Bose gave to the international scientific community in the field of pure and applied pure research. So the key feature for the pure research is knowledge for its own sake. The main aim is to discover new information or deepen the theoretical understanding. As I said, listen me very carefully, deepen theoretical understanding. 1867, a German physicist, he gave a theory of photoelectric effect. But then nobody knew why it is. And some people try to understand how to explain further. Then Sir J.J. Thomson, he came to explain the photoelectric effect, but he could not. But in between, he said that the Gustav Hertz, who gave the theory of photoelectric effect, Sir J.J. Thomson said, what the charged particle Hertz is talking, it is actually the electron, and it has this mass. So at least Sir J.J. Thomson gave information about the electron, and for that he received the Nobel Prize, And then his student, the Sir J.J. Thomson's PhD scholar was Rutherford. We have gone through the Rutherford's atomic model. So the Rutherford came to analyze, I mean, Sir J.J. Thomson hired Rutherford for doing PhD under his supervision, and he gave him the task to understand this photoelectric effect phenomena. And he could not, but he gave information about the nucleus through his gold foil experiment. We all know about that. And for that, he received Nobel Prize. So what he did, he added little more knowledge. So he deepened the theoretical understanding of your photoelectric effect. Then who else? Then came Niels Bohr. Niels Bohr was a young student. He wanted to do the summer project with the Sir J.J. Thomson. So he came from the Denmark just for a couple of months. And Sir J.J. Thomson was he was a Nobel laureate then. I think it is 1906 or 7. J.J. Thomson received Nobel Prize for physics. And when the Bohr came to Sir J.J. Thomson, Thomson was very much engaged in his scientific work, administrative work. He was the head of the laboratory. So he said, okay, you can work for a couple of months with the Rutherford, and then at the end we will discuss if you have any problem. So when he went to Rutherford, Rutherford explained him about his atomic model, how electron, and he says that electron is moving in a spiral path. Finally, it collapses in the nucleus. So there is no stability. And that's what somehow triggered the mind of young students, so called Niels Bohr. And Niels Bohr said, no, it can't be. Electron can't collapse. There must be a stability. Otherwise, how we all are existing, surviving, you know. So he spoke to Sir J.J. Thomson, but Thomson was also engaged in somewhere else. They could not trace the problem. Finally, after in a year, Niels Bohr gave atomic model that is still valid, and for that he received Nobel Prize. So he said, you see, all they came to explain the theory of photoelectric effect. And then finally came the Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein said, no, look, the electron has some kind of a momentum. When you sign the material, it ejects due to the momentum, and he gave a correct explanation of photoelectric effect, and for which he also received Nobel Prize. So that's how one after another added the knowledge, deepened the theoretical understanding of physical concept. So that time nobody knew what is the say application. So therefore it is always believed that the pure scientific work, there we do not always have in mind what is the application, industrial application. It is just advancing the knowledge or advancing the open question. So moving further, the second is the industrial research. As I have already discussed, industrial research, that stands for research and development. So it refers to process companies, organization used to innovate and create new products, service, improve existing ones. It involves investigations, testing, experimentation to bring new ideas to life. So it is absolutely focused toward the implementation of knowledge for the technological advancement. So in short, research means study and gather knowledge about a problem or ideas, and then development. So use that knowledge to create or improve products, service, or a process. Like automobile industry, they have a sensor facilities, but then they further conduct the research, so the sensor is much more faster. Maybe the sensor material is cheaper, it's more durable and accurate. So that's what the industrial research means. And here I have listed some of the company. I think you all know all those companies who are doing industrial R&D. Well, then here, this slide devotes on the enhancing scientific research, how we can enhance the scientific research, like what we have to do, you know. The innovation often emerges from the fusion of ideas, you know, where one researcher's insight complement others accelerating process. However, academic research faces key challenges. For example, prioritizing and planning. So we have to identify the research problem and securing funding for doing research. Research is not so easy, not so cheap. We need a lot of money. Then the reproducibility, ensuring reliability and validation of result. It is not just once we produced and then it is finished. Whatever we do the research, a lot of other people, after publishing, a lot of other people try to reproduce the result. And most of the time, or I can say some of the time, they realized that whatever the earlier group has produced the result, that is not applicable. That's why reproducibility of a scientific investigation is a very important. Then the third one is the market alignment. Our research must be bridging the gap between the research and industrial need. Because when you connect your research to the industrial need, we get money. And money is really very important to run the bread and butter of individual's house. Then the funding access, securing financial support for impactful projects. It's equally important. You all know how expensive the research is. Publication barriers, high cost and delays from academic journals. A lot of journals, they demand very high amount annually. So a lot of institutions, they don't have a subscription of good journals, like American Physical Society or Euro journals and so on. So it is quite hard for researchers to publish their findings in leading journals. Therefore, to improve research efficiency, institutions can leverage existing resources, trained staff, infrastructure, open research collaboration, while minimizing the financial dependency on parent organization. So a key distinction between India and Western scientific approaches lies in philosophy. You see, when we compare on Indian research, Indian knowledge system, and the Western research. So here in our country, Indian research often adopts a holistic, interconnected perspectives, addressing local challenges like a sustainable agricultural or a healthcare, while the Western science emphasizes empirical, compartmentalized analysis, and so on. So in our country, the strategy research priorities in our countries are listed in this domain. It is not limited to, just for example, I prepared this slide. I'm sure you must be knowing about all this. Make in India solution that is aligned with the Niti Aayog and PMO's vision. Quantum mission and semiconductor research, advancing next generation technology. It was, I think, came in 2019, but still the project has not been sanctioned even to the eminent, prominent organizations or eminent researchers. Electric vehicle batteries, EV is one of our most, thrust area. Hydrogen fuel storage, accelerator and defense technology, agricultural or sanitization, innovation, and so on. So by focusing on these areas, our country can drive impactful solution-oriented research, fostering technological advancement that can address both national and global challenges. Now, we come to the artificial intelligence. I'm sure the operational application of artificial intelligence was very much well known to most of us, and I'm sure most of you must have this kind of the small devices that can do a lot of activities. For example, Siri or Alexa, Tesla, Cogito, Amazon, Netflix, Pandora, or Nesta, and so on. So as AI and quantum computing continue to evolve, their integration will drive innovation that redefine industries improve human capabilities, and shape the future of intelligent technology. However, responsible development and ethical consideration will be crucial to ensuring these advancement benefit society as a whole. Well, so this is my question. I left this question to all of you, and certainly at the end, I will answer this question. The advantage of scientific research. What is the advantage of scientific research? It's a really very insightful and impactful question. Many a nation don't understand actually the advantage of scientific research. That's the reason they are far behind. So I come to the next topic. It is an introduction to AI tools for research discovery. So here, this is a very promising quote I found. It was actually the Max Tegmark, president of a Future of Life Institute. He said about the benefit and risk of artificial intelligence. Everything we love about the civilization is a product of intelligence. So amplifying our human intelligence with the artificial intelligence has the potential of helping civilization flourishing like never before, as long as we manage to keep the technology beneficial. I hope you understand the gravity of this statement. I mean, the artificial intelligence, one way it has an enormous benefit, but the other way, scientists also believe that it might produce devastating impact beyond recovery if it is misused. And that's why we are optimistic people. So we believe to use the AI for helping civilization, flourishing our work, improving our activities, and so on. So the AI tools for research discovery is the process of finding, exploring, or understanding existing knowledge like academic papers, theories, data, and experiment that are relevant to a particular topic or a questions. So we have to think of it as the first step in the research journey where we are trying to. So we have to understand our own perspective, where we are, what we want to do. So we have to understand what already known, what already people have done, identify the gaps or problems, what was not done, what is the gap, or what is the open question. If you read, by the way, I'm sure you must have gone through the scientific literature. If you read the abstract of any good scientific literature, you will find there what the author has done and what are the difficulties, challenges they face. And at the end, in a conclusion section, it is expected from the authors to point out some open question. It is not possible for any researcher across the world to solve all the problem. So there must be some challenges, some open questions, and expected from the researchers to pinpoint those parts in conclusion section, so that the next generation or a researcher, whomsoever are working in this field, they will go through it. And since we all have a different kind of the disposition, different kind of the thinking, we all have a critical thinking. We all try to understand the things. So mind works in so many different dimensions. So if you leave those open questions, it is easier for other researcher to trace the problem. Like I gave you the example, how Gustav Hertz gave the theory of photoelectric effect, 1867, and then how the open question he left was tackled by Sir J.J. Thomson or Rutherford or James Chadwick or Niels Bohr or Albert Einstein and so on. So identifying gaps or problems, then build a foundation for your own research. It is equally important. After identifying gaps or a problem, you can build your foundation, what exactly you want to do, how you are going to bridge the gap, and so on. So then comes why AI tool is so important. Before doing our own study, we need to understand what others have already done. What questions are still unanswered? It is very important. What methods or data are commonly used by others? How your work can add something new. Because in a research, you must add something new that was not done by anyone else. Otherwise, no research. It is just a repetition of thoughts. Like one of a legendary British literarian, George Bernard Shaw, 80 years before, he said that 96% people, they are not thinking. It is just a recycling of thought. They all are thinking the same. They all have same kind of the education, and their thought processing is same. Therefore, no new knowledge. And it is actually still now. So we have to be very much careful. So further, what we can get? We connect paper, what it does, connected paper, what it does, build a visual graph of related academic paper based on the central papers. So how to use the case, quickly explore the landscape around a topic and discover relevant prior and derivative workshop. Below is given the link. So that's how you connect. Then the research rabbit. These are the AI tool. What it does, similar to connected papers, but adds a collaboration features and deeper exploration via the paper network. And this is the how we can use this case, explore author's research path or a trace research theme over the time. And this is the link given. So other is Elicite. So what it does, AI assisted research assistant that answer question using the academic papers, using use case, pull out key findings, method or data point across many papers at once. Below is the link. Then Semantic Scholar. Again, what it does, AI-powered academic search engine with the filtering tools, paper highlight, citation index, and influences scores. So you can find relevant and high-impact papers faster, given the link below. Then the fifth one is a Cite AI tool. So what it does, it shows how a paper is cited, whether supporting, contrasting, or mentioning it. Then evaluate the credibility and scientific conversation around the source. Example, it is a really very important. A controversial paper or paper on learning style is cited, for example, 150 times. So this tool can give you, the site shows 30 supporting, 20 disputing, because the author has not properly cited, and 100 neutral citation, helping you evaluate its impact critically. So it is equally important. You know, a lot of AI tools are there, so people can check immediately. So this is actually the link. Then we come to the third point, automated summarization and biographic management. How we do. So automated summarization is the process of using AI, artificial intelligence, or algorithm to generate concise summarizing of longer text like a research paper, article, or report. And it has two types, like extractive summarization, picks key sentences directly from the text. Then abstracting summarization rewrites the main ideas in a new, more neural ways, like how a human would summarize. Then automate how it works, automated summarization, AI models like ChatGPT. I think you all are very much well aware about the ChatGPT. BERT or a T5 are trained or a massive amounts of text to understand key points, identify important sentences, rephrase or condense information, and they use neural language processing, so-called NLP, to read and generate quickly. The further here in the left hand side uh, is mentioned the tools, and right hand side what it does. Like for example, tools, chat GPT, what it does, summarizes article, chapter, paper when you paste the content. Elicite summarizes academic papers and so on. Scholarly converts paper into summarizing. Explain paper, let you click on parts of paper and so on. Science summary, AI generated some summaries for a scientific paper and so on. Now, the bibliographic management. Bibliographic management refers to organizing and generating citation, refers, and biographics for your academic writing. You can, through this tool, you can store and organize research sources, generate citation, add in-text citation, create references, list automation. How it works: extract metadata, author, title, journal data from PDF or from the link, automatically format citations in the style you choose, synchronize with the word processing like MS Word or Google Docs, and so on. So these are the tools. Again, left hand side summarize the tool, and right hand side its functioning, what it does. Like a tools, Jetero, Mendeley, EndNote, BibGuru, or cite this for me, and so on. And their function is mentioned at the right hand side. The fourth is AI assisted academic writing. So basically we use, there are a lot of tools, but Grammarly or chat GPT are widely used. So how Grammarly helps in academic writing research? So Grammarly is a primarily a writing enhancement tool for focusing on language mechanism and style. It helps with grammar and spelling check, because in English a lot of text and structures are missing, and so this tool helps you for grammar and spelling check. Fixes your typos, punctuations, grammar error, or especially helpful for non-native English speakers. Clarity and conciseness suggest way to simply complex sentences, improve readability by recommending more precise words. Then academic tone and formality, adjust tone to fit formal academic standards, avoids casual language and slangs, because a lot of people are using the slang language but not knowing, and that makes really a very bad impression. Plagiarism detection, then citation support, offers formatting suggesting for citation. Then how the chat GPT help in academic writing and research. As we know, the chat GPT is more like a research assistant and idea generator. It helps at different stages of academic writing process: brainstorming or topic development, literature review assistance, or outline and structure guidance, suggest outline for an easy thesis or a paper based on your topic, help organize your ideas logically. So you can just write down their say key words or just a sentence, and you will get an answer quickly, and you have always possibility to improve it. So then drafting content, generate initial draft, especially helpful for getting over writer's book and so on. Critical thinking support, engage in back and forth questioning to deepen arguments and so on. Proofreading and revision support, while Grammarly checks for source error, whereas that chat GPT can help rewrite awkward passages or suggest alternative phrasing and so on. So here are examples. We use chat GPT help for brainstorming angles. You ask it to summarize 5 journal articles and synthesize them into a literature review. It will immediately provide you. It helps you to create a draft, a structure, and so on. You can run the draft through Grammarly to correct grammar, style, clarity. Chat GPT helps you to redefine argument, while Grammarly ensures the tone in academics and so on. So here, this is a combined use in a research workflow. In the left-hand side, it is a research stage. The middle Grammarly role, and The last one is ChatGPT's role. So if you can see the research stage, the topic selection, the Grammarly role, it does not help. But ChatGPT role, it suggests research ideas and questions. So in a literature review, the Grammarly role is fixing grammar in summaries. However, the ChatGPT role is to summarize and synthesize the literature and so on. And that's how you can do the drafting or revising or finalizing your research stage different. Now we come to AI-assisted research funding. So the research funding is equally important. So use of the AI to automate, personalize, and optimize the discovery, application, and management of research funding opportunities. So the key features are smart grant matching, personalized funding alerts, automated proposal assistance, collaboration suggestions. All these things you will find there. So here in the left-hand side is the tools I have mentioned: Pivot RP, Grant Forward, Research Connect, Instrumental, and right-hand side is the key feature. So every tool has a key feature and one can use accordingly as per the requirement. So the type of AI tools for academic writing. So the grammar checker, plagiarism detection, content generation tools, improving grammar and style, cohesion and coherence, feedback mechanism, and all these things. So the future, now we come to the future trend in AI for research discovery. So here, these three keywords I have mentioned: emerging technologies. As the field of AI continues to evolve, emerging technologies such as deep learning, natural language processing, and knowledge graphs expected to enhance. So the prediction for AI in a research future prediction indicates a landscape where AI tool become even more integrated into everyday research practice and so on. And so the potential challenges are also there. Despite positive advancement, researchers may encounter challenges such as data privacy concern, the need for a digital literacy, and a constant evaluation of technology, and so on. So the key takeaway is the advantage of empowering AI tool in a research include improved efficiency, enhanced literature review, better understanding of citation context, streamlined workflow. These elements can significantly elevate the overall quality and rigor of research output. The second is a strategic recommendation. So the researchers should approach the adoption of AI tool strategically, as per your requirement. It is not always the case that AI tools will give you the absolute answer, because in an AI tool, what happens is it is the most wisest person, they feed their answer, their solutions. So accordingly, when you browse your curiosity, you will get the answer. Not necessarily always it will provide you 100% accurate answer. So you have to be very much careful about it. So this is for the encouragement to adopt AI tools. Of course, it is encouraged to everyone, especially for the researchers, academicians, students, teachers, to use the AI tools for the purpose to improve efficiency in a reduced time. It can save your time and so on. Well, so I want to go to this slide, but you see here, this I prepared especially how you strengthen your research. The AI tool is fine. It will help you to get a lot of things in a less time, but at the same time, researchers must have a creative mind. So how you can strengthen your creative mind, in order to push the research to the next level. So these points I have actually, that's why I mentioned that the research coordination team for promoting quality research in various school or center of excellence. Well, when you merge your research with the interdisciplinary and interdisciplinary approach. It will give you a lot of insights, So develop research collaboration worldwide, development of transdisciplinary research project, publication of quality journal or concerned skill, establishment or formation of scientific chapter, or a recruitment or of interaction with the advanced research scientists, professors, and so on. So attending the Nobel laureate lectures, because the Nobel laureates, they have given innovative ideas, and that's how they got the Nobel Prize. So if you attend the Nobel laureate programs, it will help improve your insights. Develop culture of postdoctoral assignment. It's for academicians or leaders. So if you develop a culture of postdoctoral assignment, appoint someone who have already PhD, she can help mentor other junior researchers or so on. The third one is we have to focus on making India a solution, because we can't challenge or compete with the Western or American cutting edge fundamental research, because that needs a lot of skilled people, and it's very expensive. Therefore, if we focus on next in India solution, that would be helpful for our society and so on. So that's how I built all these points. This is formation of advisory board, bringing the international expertise to the campus, appoint someone from international institutions. So whenever they will visit India or nearby city, we are in touch with them and we can invite on board, and from them we can get a lot of insight about the research and so on. You see, I always focus on networking and influence. It is really very much important. Without networking and influence, we can't do anything. It's a key point. That's what my learning is in Europe and America. They have Europeans, Americans, they become rich or developed just because of networking and influence. Promotion strategy. We have a lot of say communication osmosis. So there is a lot of social media. We always put the promotional strategies on say social medias and so on. Well, so in the beginning, if you remember, I asked what is the significance of fundamental research? So here I come. It is really very important. The mirror, all the focus is coming here. Madam, excuse me, madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. You're audible.
Everything is going well?
Yes, sir, things are going well
Great.
so far.
So I need 15 minutes more and then I
Sure,
wind
sir.
up. It is really well,
Oh, okay.
dear colleagues. So welcome back. So the value of PhD and scientific research. Usually, most of the country, also in our country, people measure through the publication and citation. That is not the case actually. I found this on a website, on the internet. It was prepared by a researcher lady and very much meaningful. So you see, what we think we value of a PhD publication, a complete circle gives the publication. People ask very much a ready-made question. How many publications? How much citation do you have? What is the impact factor? But actually they don't understand the basics of research. That's why in the beginning, 10, 12 slides, I gave you insight about the research, fundamental research, industrial research, mandate-based research, and societal solution-based research. And in all are research. And it is done by the researchers, certainly. But everywhere you do not have a possibility to publish the paper and extend your citation. If someone is doing industrial research, he is not allowed to publish the paper because it gives the research to improve the innovative technology, you know. So how can they publish? In a last 10 years before, you might have heard that one Japanese automobile industry, Honda City, and the other Korean automobile car is Berna. So the Berna filed a complaint case in a court that Honda City somehow took their model. So, you know, that is the major challenge in industrial research. They do the research, innovative research, but they keep finding with themselves because it's a research that helps improve their model, and through that they earn millions of dollar. So they don't publish the paper. But then if you ask them, how many papers do you have? He won't say even a single. But that does not give that he is not a researcher. He is equally good researcher. He is doing industrial research to improve the machine, you know. So the left-hand side, what you see is our prospect. And strictly speaking, I'm fed up with this question. Here the second, it is actually Elena Hoffner, a lady. She prepared this pie chart. You see what she says, what the actual value of research is. In a pie chart, you can see writing. Of course, you have to write a project. So it enhances your writing skill. Presenting, you have to present your research finding to the international scientific community and convince them. So it's your presentation skill. Collaboration. Without collaboration, you can't do any research in 21st century. Even in the 20th century, the people were doing the collaborative research. We didn't know that. That was not the case. However, if you take one good example of 20th century, Bose, Satyanath Bose, he published paper with the Albert Einstein because his paper was not accepted by the, say, journals. They didn't recognize. They didn't understand actually the gravity of his research. So Albert Einstein was quite famous in that time, 1922. So the Bose, a very intelligent physicist, he wrote Albert Einstein and showed his idea. And Albert Einstein quickly understood, yes, that's a brilliant idea. But Bose gave his theory only for the light materials. So the Albert Einstein expanded he generalized his theory for all the materials. That's why Albert Einstein is in this paper. And this research is known as Bose-Einstein condensation. Bose has given the initial, say, insight. That's why his name is the first. And Einstein helped elaborate his idea, not only for the light particles, but also for all the matters. And that's why Einstein is there. So it's a collaborative research. So you develop collaboration. And developing collaboration is not a joke. It's a skill. Then what you do the data analysis. You must be perfect how to analyze your data. There are millions of data coming. And how you filter the best data. That's your skill. Then what? Research skill. Researching means trying to understand the problem. What was done? What is the gap? How I go further, and so on. Critical thinking. What is beyond that? What was done and how I'm going to add the value, new things. That's a critical thinking. That's why in the beginning, if you remember, I gave you a clue. I spoke about myself that I read a lot of books. So reading a book improves your critical thinking. You know, reading a book, reading a scientific literature. If you read over and over, it will improve, help your critical thinking. That's how you build insight, you know. Then communication. We must have a very clear communication. People are not so happy to listen our lexical lecture. Everyone wants a very concise statement, you know. So we have to be very much concise and clear communication. Problem solving. There are a lot of problems. That's why we are on board. So we must have an ability to solve the problem, not to create the problem, but to solve the problem. That needs a different kind of the mindset. Then making an impact. So by dint of all your activities, you make an impact on others. Data visualization. You visualize data. Expert knowledge. You gather expert knowledge. Maybe you provide, if you have a lot of expertise, you provide information to your colleagues, your juniors, you mentor students, or you get knowledge from the experts. Like I showed you in my third or fourth transparencies that I have a mentors, professional coaches. I connect them on regular basis, weekly, with some daily basis. I also hired some professional coaches, paid a lot of money just for half an hour or a 1 hour discussion, scientific discussion, because they are very insightful. They are not available free. So we have to pay. And that's how we excel in life. So expert knowledge. By the way, you know, all the legendary people, successful people, they have experts, they have a gurus, they have a mentors, they have a coaches. For example, Gandhiji has a mentor. Who? The Gopal Krishna Gokhale Sahab. Swami Vivekananda has guru. Who? Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans, and so on. So all American presidents, they hired a coach, 3, 4 coaches just to get their insight. You know, without coach, without mentor, without guru, we can't excel in our life. At every stage of life, we need mentor. It's a very important. Then the time management. Time management is equally important because you have to do everything in a stipulated time. For example, for doing PhD, it's for example, 3 years. You have to do everything. You have to write the project. You have to prepare experimental facilities. You have to design your equipment. You have to test your prototypes. You have to do test measurement. You have to make a result. You have to do a presentation. You have to write a chapter. You have to submit thesis, and you have to prepare for your defense. Everything must be done in a stipulated time. So you must be knowing a very how to manage the time. Then the project management, then the ability to anything to everything. So what it gives the impression, we built a very innovative mindset, help us to gain anything to everything. Well, so it's absolutely insightful. You know, that's what the learning is. So the advantage of scientific research, it is not only the publication or citations, as you can see in the yellow circle, but developing an innovative, infinite mindset. Mindset means what? Mindset means we develop several skills. Technical skill. Technical skill means our instrumental skill, life skill, business skill, how to sell your idea, public skill, how to address the people, and positive growth attitude. So by developing innovative, infinite mindset, you are invested spiritually and emotionally. And that's how we contribute for the growth, progress, and success of the organization and the society. That's what the major contribution comes from the academician, scientists, researchers in the civilized world. So all that, what it does, help observe problems in advance. Problems are there. Like Albert Einstein said, the intelligent people can observe the problem, but the genius can identify well in advance the problem, and solve it quickly before it becomes emergency. So that's what the research provides. But then how to connect the research further? The whatever, I'm going backward. Yeah. So in the right hand side, I have explained each and every point, what the actual value of research is. All this is connected to the leadership traits. Sure. And that's why worldwide it is believed that the researchers, highly educated people who have a PhD degrees, they are exposed to the various faculties, mental faculties, and they have developed a lot of qualities. And that's how, wheresoever these people are leading, they are doing the best. And rest of the world is suffering because they don't have a leader actually. If you don't go to university and college and anyone can claim that he is the great leader, it is not true in the 21st century. In Europe and America, you see all their leaders are highly educated. Even I know, I was in Germany and Angela Merkel, she was the chancellor. Chancellor is equivalent to the prime minister of the country. You must be knowing Angela Merkel. She was a president, chancellor of Germany from 2005 until 2022. Roughly 17 years, 4 terms, more than 4 terms. And she had a PhD in physics in spectroscopy. You see, Barack Obama, he received PhD from Harvard, and he was a say temporary part-time professor at Yale University and Harvard before he became senator or came in politics. So these people have done tremendous work as an academician, as a researcher, and that's how they improve their mindsets. And that's why they turn to be a great leader. So the leadership, and finally the leadership is necessary because it provides direction, purpose, and cohesion, especially in complex and dynamic environments. Here is a breakdown of why leadership is essential, supported by scientific, organizational, and human development. So these are the breakouts, like what leaders does, which kind of the traits they do have. They have a vision and purpose with a purpose, integrity and authenticity, empathy and compassion, intellectual depth and curiosity, empowerment of others, emotional stability and grace under pressure, humility and spiritual grounding, collaborative spirit, building organizational culture, manage conflict and complexity, and all these traits are again the same what we developed during our PhD in a pie chart I have shown you earlier. So that's why the leaders coming from the scientific background or highly educated people or having PhDs, they are doing good everywhere. And the rest of the countries are suffering. By the way, when the Dr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister of the country, I was in Germany. And during his tenure, I traveled to America and several European countries. During the conference, whomsoever I met, most of the people who have a bit interest in politics, they were praising Manmohan Singh very much. Look, India is a great country. They have an Oxford graduate, the PhD in economics, Dr. Manmohan Singh Sardar, Prime Minister of the country, very learned person. Barack Obama also praised a lot, So education matters at every step of our life. It helps to navigate through the difficulties, challenges, overcome the challenges. So Leadership is essential as I said, it provides a direction, purpose, cohesion, especially in a complex, fast-changing environment. It impacts spans strategic, organizational, and human development dimensions. In essence, the leadership is the integrity force that transforms potential into performance, vision into reality, and individuals into unified, purposeful teams. So, the necessity of leadership is very important in any civilization. So, coming to the end, so this is my humble words to transform all our vision into reality. India must create a vast opportunity for researchers, educators, and communities, fostering collaboration between local industries and global institutions for a better future. The century of science, this is the century of science and technology, is our opportunity to make India a model of responsible global citizen, ensuring prosperity through knowledge, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to sustainability. Human character transcends technical skills, intellectual achievements, and believe me, if we apply ourselves with the absolute sincerity in building this great nation, nothing can stand in our way, and that's our dharma, that's our karma. So this is one of the best line I always chant from the Gita, and I'm sure you must be knowing, most of you must be knowing. Also, the Louis Pasteur is one of a brilliant researcher. During my German stay, I visited Louis Pasteur University several times for research, and I'm influenced by his quote, "A little science distances you from the God, but a lot of science brings you near to Him." So we must believe in universal power. Whatsoever the power we receive from the universe, that is a spiritual power. And that power we must use to improve not only ourselves, but the improve of life of others, help achieve organization, growth, progress, and success. With this word, I would like to thank all of you, colleagues, attendees. Thank you so much for all your presence. And I extend my thanks to organizing committee, chief patrons, organizing president, Dr. Sunil Dhawan Sahab, principal, Unity PG College, Lucknow, Dr. Saili Pandey, Madam, Department of Education, Dr. Dinar Fatima, Madam, in charge, Department of Management, Dr. Samsi Akbar, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology. Thank you so much indeed for your time and consideration. Now we come to the
Thank you, sir.
end point.
Thank you for your valuable thoughts.
So yeah, I now switch on my camera because my mind diverts sometimes when I switch on the camera. So that's why I switch off the cam. So Dhawan Sahab, namaskar once again. Yeah, please. I'm open for the question.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now, if anyone have a question, one question we can entertain, if that's possible for the sir to answer.
I think no question, everyone understood everything, you know.
Yes, sir.
No question, sir.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir.
And by the way, I want to quote it here. One very important quote I remember for last 25 years from my professor Paul Leider in Germany. he used to say us that, look, when you give a talk, there are two possibilities. That you gave a wonderful talk, everyone understood everything, so there is a no question. And the second part is, you gave us so worst talk, nobody understood everything, and therefore there is a no question. I don't know where I am, in the first case or
Sir, apologies to interfere here, but there is the first one possibility which is applicable. So we are really grateful and thankful to you for your precious time and giving your insights on the topic which has to do with artificial intelligence in the field of research, sir.
Thank you so much. It's my great honor to be with all of you. You know, Lucknow is my alma mater. I miss Lucknow very much. Many a times I dream Lucknow, walking in the university, walking in the Gomti River and everywhere. I spent 15 years, always miss the Lucknow. And when I will I'm planning to come to Lucknow next, maybe in a couple of months or so. And then certainly I would love to visit your college and see all you people
Certainly.
in person. So
Certainly. Sure, sir. Please visit us, sir.
sure, I will do that. So
Thank you so much, sir.
is it okay? So may I allow to
Sure, sir.
leave? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes, sir. No
once
problem,
again,
sir.
Awan Sahab, बहुत namaskar aapko. And Fatima madam, thank you so much for organizing this talk.
Thank you,
And
sir.
certainly I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the participants who have very patiently listened the talk. And I'm sure somewhere maybe 5 to 10% it will help you to navigate through the difficulties. I will be really honored. Thank you so much indeed. With all these words, I would like to take your permission to quit the meeting. Thank
Sure,
you.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
sir.
Thank you so much indeed. Thank you.